All right, to anybody that is going through some type of injury, working out, sports, and you're sidelined from an activity that you were so accustomed to doing, an activity that brings you so much joy, and you see yourself really benefiting from this activity in the future. If you're an athlete, it is most likely getting that scholarship to go Division 1 or play pros. The issue is when you are injured, you cannot play. Playing through injuries never, ever, ever gives you the satisfaction that you think it will. Even if you win that certain game, all you are doing is hurting your future. You're hurting your career down the line. Might be the next year, the year after that, or your overall longevity will not be there because you decided to go against what your body is telling you, going against what the doctors are telling you. You were probably taking painkillers, or you're doing something that is just numbing the pain. You might even be just sucking it up. You might be trying to tell yourself that it doesn't even hurt that bad when deep down you know how much agony it is causing you. You are just further hurting the wound and destroying the injury to a point where it might not ever heal. It's something we don't think about, and when athletes are going through the motions, they really aren't concerned about this. They don't think about it as a priority list. They just want to go out there and play. They want to do what they love. And trying to even fathom the idea of resting really doesn't resonate with their agenda. And as a result, a lot of athletes will push out their bodies on whatever injury they're going through and just end up hurting it more. The end result is always them hurting their future. Think about basketball players. For example, Isaiah Thomas, one of the best basketball players for his height of all time, if not the best player under 6 foot. He had an injury and he played through it when he was on Boston Celtics. And his career after that was never the same. He never got that payday that he wanted. And after that, he just kept having injury after injury after injury. He just destroyed the ecosystem of his body. He destroyed the structure. And once that structure is broken, it's almost impossible to bring back. That's why he kept getting injuries on other aspects of his body, just because the idea of him fully healing and going back when his body has enough time to actually recover and rest never crossed his mind. Or if it did, there were too many things that outweighed his decision and forced him to play through the injury. It might be for money, it might be for status, it might be from actual passion in the game. Whatever his reason was, he simply was never the same player after that. And I know a lot of you guys watching this are probably not professional athletes or necessarily want to be professional athletes, but one aspect that I know all you guys can relate to is just going to the gym. Working out is super fun to us. We understand the tremendous benefit it can bring us down the road. And as a result, whenever we get injured, we like to, try to push through it or act like it isn't as severe as it is. My best advice for you guys is, if you can go to a doctor, go and understand what the severity of your injury actually is. They have actual knowledge and instruments that will give you the best possible answer and allow you to diagnose your fractures effectively or whatever injury you have. But if you don't, you can go on YouTube and kind of figure out things on your own, but always try to go to the doctor. They will give you the best possible information that you really need, but at the same time, YouTube can be really helpful. There are certain stretches you can do and figure out how much weight and how much, I guess, effort you can put on that muscle before it feels like it's too much. And then just kind of take it day by day. Rest, ice, elevate, compression, all the the basic stuff that will help heal your wound faster. But I can't always tell you that I followed this. I remember I hurt my wrist about 2 summers ago, and I was playing football with my friends, and I pivoted on the turf, and I fell and I hyperextended my wrist. And I didn't feel anything bad at the moment, I guess because I had so much adrenaline going, but the next day it hurt so bad. I remember I tried to work out with one of my buddies and I was shoulder pressing and the weight literally just fell out of my hands. It wasn't even that heavy. it was just because my hand just couldn't hold it. It just flinched open and the dumbbell just went flying. Even my friend was surprised because it wasn't that much weight. But I never let it heal after that. I took a few days off, then I went back, it hurt. Then I took a week off, went back, it hurt. Took 2 weeks off, went back, it hurt. Took 3 weeks off, went back, and it hurt. Then I took like 3 months off from working out. I went from going 5 to 6 times every single week to not going into the gym for 3 months. What do you think that did to my mental health? How do you think I saw myself in the mirror when I took my shirt off? Didn't feel good. I can tell you that. It was honestly one of the most difficult periods of my life. Being injured is one of the most difficult points of your life that you will go through as a man. I hope you can never face any sort of severe injury, a point where you have to get surgery done on your body. But even the injuries like spraining ankles, spraining your knees, spraining your wrist, hurting your lower back, whatever your injury is, it sucks. It really does. It does take toll on your mental health, especially when you had an injury that kept you out for a little bit and you're just getting back and you get injured again. Just when you think things are going good and you're going to be taking steps to become the man you know you want to be, something else happens and now you're delayed again. And you will be so tempted to rush back into it because you're going to think, oh my God, I just wasted so much time not being able to work out. I need to get back in shape. I need to go back to the gym. I got to go back to the same amount of weights I'm accustomed to doing. I don't want my muscles to get any smaller. But bro, if you're injured, do not work out. Do not hurt yourself even more. All you are doing is making the situation worse. You are better off taking that day off, that week off, that month off, that 2 months off, whatever amount of time is recommended you take off, take it off. All you are doing is making the injury worse to a point where you might have to get surgery and just have it permanently not as effective as it once was. Do not do that to yourself. You can avoid the hardships by literally just taking a break and not pushing your body when it's destroyed, when it's hurt. Do not do that. Literally relax. Find other things to do with your time that can kind of fall into a new routine for you. For example, if you can't necessarily lift weights, maybe you can just go for walks. Use that hour and a half to just walk around a nice park, or just, go do activities that you can do without feeling pain in your body. Use that time you used to dedicate to working out to a new love, a new activity, something that doesn't cause too much strain on your body, because you got to understand, you only have one body. The more you keep banging it up and damaging it, the less it's going to last you. You will put yourself in severe stakes. You will risk the probability of you being in medical conditions way worse than you are in right now if you do not just take care of your body and rest it when it's injured. I know there's that voice that's just telling you to push through it, don't be a wimp, but that voice isn't going to really help you, man. Listen to the doctors, listen to the health professionals, listen to the people on YouTube. Figure out the best way to fully recover and then take it from there. It's better to be behind for a few months and then progress in the future, whereas if you just push through the injury, you're progressing a little bit and then you are declining for a very long period of time. So you got to understand the trade-off is just simply not worth it.